I'd have to say the biggest trend in technology right now is what we call the hybrid cloud. And that is trying to balance between building your private cloud and private cloud capabilities and what you're going to shore off to the public cloud. We're seeing more and more companies struggle about what are they going to do internally and externally to meet their consumers' needs. And we're seeing the complexities continue to grow, so IT does not continue to be trapped like they have in traditional means. So probably the biggest growth I'm seeing is what are we going to do in regards to the hybrid cloud of connecting private and public. I think where technology really helps the federal government is making sure that they're building upon the capabilities for a self-service model for their constituents. They're building secure environments for information, and more importantly, they're building the flexibility so they don't get trapped in the future when IT continues to go through its shifts in its domains. I think that one of the biggest things that the technologists have to provide the federal government is making sure they create flexible environments for the federal government to be able to build, scale, and be as agile as possible to, quite frankly, be competitive in the world. Well, when you have kids my age, social media is one of the things that is constantly out there, so you're constantly monitoring. I'm really thrilled about the ability to get access to information anywhere through technologies like, all of my tablets and smartphones and so forth. But quite candidly, I have one favorite technology that I love, and it's not even one of the ones that everybody think about. It's actually the GoPro. The GoPro is a camera that you can put on anything, like your kids' ski helmets and everything. You can download it instant and share with friends, and suddenly you have advanced filming technologies of your kids' activities that you've never seen before. I think the key thing for the federal government to embrace technology is to make sure that it's looking at what architecture it needs to provide, not now, but 3 to 5 years out from now. And when we talk about architecture, it's really talking about the components of technology that will make up its ability to scale. What we tend to think about technology is we tend to think about speeds and feeds or hardware or price. What we don't tend to think about is how do you actually take things like software or specialized hardware and make them work together in a way that can actually give the scale that actually will reduce cost in the future. What I want to make sure that everybody focuses on, even the technology providers to the government, is around architecture and operations over the next 3 to 5 years to give that scale. And I think that that's where we really need to focus, because quite candidly, technology will continue to advance every single year from a speed and feeds perspective, from an ASICs build perspective. But if we don't abstract the intelligence out of hardware and really design our architecture for our data centers in the future to have that scalable footprint and drive flexibility, we're going to be trapped in this traditional IT problems we've had for decades. I think technology changes government by information in regards to how they use information at a much more nimble state. If you hear the term big data or the utilization of data, it's the ability for government, not just one agency, but multiple agencies, to be able to share information to get speed to resolution for Homeland Security and safety, from our Department of Defense, but more importantly, things like healthcare and our finances around our civilians. We have to be able to make sure that we understand all the different elements of what's going on in people's lives to make sure that we can provide better services across the board. So being able to dissect data is going to be incredibly important, but what we have to do is be able to build the capabilities to be able to share data the appropriate ways to protect the rights of individuals, but also make sure that we're getting an output that can really make it for better lifestyles for everybody.